And welcome to this TKO 8 News special presentation of a look back at the year that was 2011. I'm Jim Buchanan. Well, over the next 30 minutes, we'll revisit some of the events that helped make this year one to remember. From political controversy and historic weather events to odd occurrences and uplifting experiences, the TKO 8 Newsroom was on hand to bring you these stories to keep you informed on what was happening to shape our quickly changing community. In this first installment, we'll look back on the months of January through April, where a new city administration came into power and beer went on sale for the first time in Boone County in 70 years. That and a whole lot more coming up as TKO 8 News looks back at the year that was 2011.
Whether it's the perfect gift or a last-minute stocking stuffer you need, Frenzy on the Square can help. With brands such as Tom's Shoes, Big Star, and Miss Jeans, plus a wide assortment of children's clothing and unique accessories and handbags, Frenzy helps you play Santa for even the most fashionably demanding person on your gift list. And like Santa, gift wrapping and delivery are free. For a limited time, you can also get your own Christmas at the Ozarks lamp that benefits the downtown Christmas lights displays. Frenzy, it's more than just a store. It's the perfect Christmas shopping experience, and Loway is available.
The Christmas season is the time of year to remember family and friends. At Shelby's, we know the importance of choosing just the right gift for that special someone. Whether you are looking for home decor, gourmet foods, or kitchen gadgets, Shelby's can make your holiday shopping experience easy and enjoyable. We offer a wide variety of baby products, bath and body items, and personal apparel. Stop in today and browse our broad assortment of holiday gifts. Shelby's, simply elegant, surprisingly affordable.
Welcome back as TKO 8 News revisits some of the events that shaped 2011. I'm Jim Buchanan. Well, 2011 kicked off in high gear from day one, from the swearing in of newly elected city and county leaders to selling beer and wine for the very first time in 70 years. The first third of 2011 ensured that we had to keep our running shoes on to try and keep up with all of these changes going on in the area. As Judge Webb quickly moved through the swearing-in of county officials, Judge Fred Kirkpatrick took over the helm and began the more lengthy process of swearing in all of the city officers.
A lot of these guys. All right, you'll raise your right hand. State after me. I, Jeff Crockett.
I, Jeff Crockett.
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of, upon which I am now about to enter. Congratulations.
Immediately following the swearing-in ceremony, the new city council went straight to work, literally, in regards to rules and regulations regarding alcohol sales and squashing potentially unsavory businesses from coming to the area.
A packaged liquor store in a neighboring county decided to rent a billboard. And the billboard went up south of town for the Gentleman's Club. And there was an awful lot of concern and complaint because of that. So we decided we needed an ordinance to regulate it to keep our city where we want it to be. The ordinance does provide that they not be located any closer than 1,500 feet from a church or religious facility, a public or private daycare, elementary, secondary, post-secondary school, a boundary of a residential zone or any single-family or multiple-family residential use, a public park, a hospital, or medical facility. So with that 1,500 feet designation, we're not going to end up with a problem, I believe. And then also the fact that they can't locate closer. They can't get them into an area where we create a blight or a problem. So.
The first controversial new rule coming to town was in the form of a business license. While Mayor Crockett made it clear that the intent of the permit was for the greater good, others didn't share his sentiment.
One of our concerns is, and the Chamber's been pushing this for years, that we need a business license. We don't know how many businesses are here in town. We don't know what kind. When somebody calls and says, how many Mexican restaurants do you have, or Italian restaurants do you have, we have no way of telling them.
I would oppose all of it, if at all possible, because I understand it's going to cost you $35 even to implement the program. And I think that $35 could be used much more wisely.
It will not generate any growth to this town. If a business comes in here and says, I got 150 employees for this plant to come in, and this town's going to hit me here too.
As far as a recurring fee, I've spoken to several of you, you've asked what would be wrong with a reoccurring fee, and I don't really have a problem with that. Like I said, if it's a nominal fee, but if it is, as long as you can provide to me, what's it used for? What does that fee go towards?
One non-controversial issue that we captured in January was the retirement of North Arkansas College President Dr. Jeff Olson.
Well, it's nearly 10 years, and it's a 38-year career, and I'm 67 years old. So I don't think retirement is an unusual thing, and I gauge what's happened here at the college since I've been here in a relatively simple way. Are we further ahead now than we were when I started? And I believe we are. I believe the college has come a long way. I'm proud of my work, and I believe there's still plenty left undone for someone else who comes in next. So I think we're in good shape. We've got a good board. We've got an excellent administrative team, fantastic faculty. The students who come here get a great education. What more could we ask?
Coming up, we'll take a look back at February 2011, where booze continued to take center stage, and the community was shocked by the unethical actions of one man who took advantage of our patriotism. But first, what would a Jim Buchanan presentation be without a little fun stuff mixed in? From toys and comics to independent film. During this series of look-backs, I've lined up some really neat and fun stuff to look forward to in 2012. First up is the latest and perhaps greatest action figure from my friends at PlaidStallions.com and Odeon Toys.
Flashing back with Odeon Toys and PlaidStallions.com. Ladies, if you're looking for the perfect man, may we introduce to you that man, Brickman Tooth. Strong, stylish, dashing, and fun. Brickman Tooth, the iconic fashion legend, is back, and he's here for you because you deserve him.
Brick's Bachelor Pad playset sold separately and available now at DDonDisplays.com.
Tis the season to be shopping, and at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop, they have expanded their holiday gift lines for a unique shopping experience. You'll find one-of-a-kind centerpieces, gourmet food items, holiday serving pieces, book coverings, scarves, and many other holiday gift ideas. From traditional to contemporary Christmas trees, handcrafted ornaments, holiday floral arrangements, and exquisite wreaths and garland, you're sure to find just the right gift. Sisters Flower and Gift Shop, where gift wrapping is always free.
Welcome back as we look back at the month of February. Now, the issue of booze continued to draw the most amount of attention as local leaders continued to figure out what to do with it since we got it. Now, February also saw the arrest of Brian Schooley, who was thought to be a good-hearted patriot, but in the end was discovered to be a con man. After it was discovered that Schooley had actually been pocketing some of the proceeds he was allegedly raising for a tribute to fallen Army specialist Clay McGarrah, the outrage was felt throughout the community. Judge Gordon Webb also granted no leniency in the matter of bond, considering that at the time of his arraignment, many other instances of fraud were still coming to light.
For the record, I'm setting the bond at this point based on what's known about this situation, where the judge who reviewed the probable cause affidavits, I now have been advised that there were two affidavits. I've looked at them, and they were set at $100,000. I'm going to leave it there, subject to, again, when more facts are known.
Later in the year, Schooley would reach a plea agreement with prosecutors which sent him to prison for 3 years along with paying restitution. Well, getting back into the realm of political controversy, the month of February brewed with plenty. After the city's Parks and Recreation Board voted against allowing beer gardens in the city parks and facilities, it appeared that Mayor Crockett was unhappy with that decision when he directed the group to choose 2 new members for the board. TKO News spoke with the mayor to clear the air about the matter.
Originally, the reason it was brought to my attention is Dan Sherrill brought me a copy of the Arkansas Code that was showing that the reason he brought it to me was it was showing that Parks and Rec Commission had sole and complete authority over what went on in the parks. So in reading through that, I also noticed on there that the parks commissioners needed to be qualified electors of the municipality. And I knew for a fact at least two of them weren't. So went into checking into that and realized that Patty had moved out of town since she was appointed years and years ago, and Tony Horton had also built a house out of town. So at that point, that was when I thought that, if they want to be legal all the way around, we need to be legal all the way around. And once it comes to your attention, you can't just ignore it, because then you're violating the law.
February 2011 also saw the need for the Harrison City Council to take their show on the road, so to speak. Considering the record number of citizens in attendance at meetings, the council had to relocate to larger facilities to discuss matters that kept heating everyone up.
My comment to that is, the city's not out $235,000. The city's out $25,000.
The taxpayers are out $235,000.
That's exactly right. But does the city of Harrison deserve it as much as anybody else does?
Yes, they do.
But we're not saying
we ought to spend it responsibly.
We're not saying spend it. You're going to say somebody else is going to be spending it that's more responsible than we are.
Floyd, we ought to spend it responsibly.
Floyd, are you saying that you should only spend it to save $5,000 a year when we can save 20? Is that what you're saying?
No, first thing is, who said we're going to save 20?
I'm just saying, is that what you're saying?
No.
If we could save more elsewhere, would you be in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And of course, the political debate wasn't limited to the city limits. The Boone County Quorum Court was also busy dealing with the creation of new alcohol regulations.
This pretty much mirrors what the city did on most everything, or everything, or...
Yeah.
All the statutes.
They're written from the same statute.
And like the permit fees and license fees.
Our fees are higher. Our license fees are 50% higher for the hotel, motel, and restaurants.
And to top off all of the moving and shaking in the political arena, even Mother Nature wanted to chime in. February also saw the area get shook up by a rare but mild earthquake.
I sat and working a jigsaw puzzle at the kitchen table, and it just felt like a little rumbling, and things rattled a little, and it's just an interesting feeling.
In a moment, we'll revisit March of 2011, where the area warmly welcomed a new college president, but then tempers flared as we were all put on a road diet. All of that and more is coming up as TKO 8 News reflects on the year that was 2011. But first, may I introduce you from the mind and pen of my pal Tim Barron, Julius Destructus.
Is your group or organization planning an event, meeting, or other function? Do you need a sound system, live entertainment, DJ, or mobile recording service? From 15 to 1,500 seats, indoors or out, we've got you covered. Music festivals, concerts, class reunions. If you need professional, affordable sound, you need Got Sound Productions. Call 870-715-2459, 870-715-2459, or see us on the web at gotsoundproductions.com.
The month of March was again full of change for the city of Harrison, from a new college president and fire chief to the announcement of a complete facelift for Main Street. March in the viewing area kept the newsroom marching. Now, before we get to this month's round of controversy, let's reflect on the things that everyone was glad to see, such as a new fire chief and the welcoming of a new North Arkansas College president.
we just decided we needed to make a change here, and I felt that Mark was suited for the job, and I've known Mark for lots of years, and respect him, like his personality, and his training and education, and he's been 16 years on the force, and I just thought that with his personality, he would be the guy to be able to step in there and build the department.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce a dynamic leader, someone who is focused on our students and their success, the right person to build better relationships with all the people we serve. The unanimous choice of our board, faculty, staff, and students, the next president of North Arkansas College, Dr. Jackie Elliott.
Well, good afternoon. It is my great privilege to be here today. I'm actually kind of overwhelmed, so give me a second here. This is amazing, and I really appreciate the warm welcome and the unanimous vote. It makes it a lot easier when it's unanimous.
Another high point for the month of March came as the North Arkansas Regional Medical Center Auxiliary announced that they had conquered a monumental goal.
We are here today to celebrate because the North Arkansas Regional Medical Center Auxiliary is paying off their $500,000 pledge to the foundation 6 months early.
And now, for the sake of history, I include this clip, and I do believe it needs no new introduction from me now. Today marked the first day in over 60 years that beer could be sold in Harrison, Arkansas in an off-premises fashion. TKO News spoke with Jessica Williams, who is the manager of Southside Grocery and Flash Market, to see how business has been since they began selling alcohol this morning.
We've had a busy morning. We started our first beer 10 o'clock this morning. We sold it, and it's been nonstop ever since.
Well, the first question that came to mind for me was the possibility of negative feedback from the community. Ms. Williams said that hasn't been the case.
Not today. Everybody's pretty happy about the prices and sales of beer.
Now on to not only March's biggest controversy, but perhaps the biggest political inferno Harrison, Arkansas has ever seen: the road diet. Now, while many locals cried foul as the city council appeared to have railroaded the plans for Main Street down the citizens' throats, Mayor Crockett had a different take on the situation.
If anybody would have watched the council meeting or would have been in during the discussions during core or the council meeting, they would have realized that it's not going from Industrial Park Road all the way to Central. It's going from the Ramada Inn to Central. We actually have to take the highway from the highway intersection at Industrial Park Road and the bypass, naturally, all the way to Central.
Stepping away from the road diet issue, don't worry, it'll be back in April. I'd like to close out this look back on the month of March 2011 with one of my more favorite stories featuring a real American icon. The man in the symbolic red, white, and blue is actually a hero in his own right, Mr. Alan Mullins. Alan is walking across America to bring awareness to the needs of soldiers who are returning home after defending our freedoms abroad. Alan shared with the TKO News camera how he has created a very lofty goal for himself and his own dexterity for this very worthwhile cause.
Since January 5th of 2009, I've been basically doing a tour for the next 10 years until 2020 to try to get a foundation to help out the troops, but instead I have hooked up with a VFW in Palestine, and now people's got a way to donate through the mail, and that's with the information that I give them. Right now I'm doing all the state capitals. I am in Harrison, Arkansas. I'm coming from Austin, Texas with number 27. I'm headed to Jefferson City, Missouri.
Coming up, we'll round out the first third of the year with a look back at April 2011 that saw spring flood in and political controversy overflow. All of that and more is coming up as TKO News continues to look back on the year that was 2011. But before we do all that, I'd like to share with you a sneak peek of an independent film that shows that if not made correctly, life's choices can lead to a dark limbo.
The entrance to hell. You'll find the star. As you can see, there is no escape. Please God help me. God has nothing to do with this.
If you like beading, jewelry, or working with yarn, you're gonna love Sugar Gems. Hi, this is Carrie, and I've added thousands of new items to my store. You'll find thousands of beads, everything from crystal and glass beads to semi-precious stones, ceramic beads, and tons more. Plus, I've got all the findings and accessories you need. And if yarn's your thing, please come in and check out my new selection. I've got wool, cotton, and specialty yarns in a variety of colors. Come see us, Sugar Gems Jewelry, Beads, and Yarn, in our new location at 410 North Main Street in Harrison, just north of the Hotel Seville.
Welcome back to TKO News' special look back at the year that was 2011 as we wrap up our first third of the year with a revisit to the month of April. And now this one was full of disasters of both the natural and man-made kinds. April 2011 started out on the wrong foot with record-setting gas prices and a community enraged by a road diet.
I keep hearing about the speed issue from several people involved in this project. The speed limit is 30 miles per hour on Main Street, not 40 or 50. The city cannot afford to pay officers to sit and enforce the speed limit on Main Street. So how is it that it's going to happen afterwards? Oh yeah, Mr. Levy says it will affect them on a subconscious level, and they will not want to be in a hurry anymore. I don't buy it.
I am an avid bicycle rider, and even if you have bicycle lanes on Main Street, I think it's unlikely that I'll be riding on Main Street. If I'm headed to the lake, I'll probably take a side street and cut across, or I'll cut across Main Street down to Walnut and take the bike path, the path that they're building on along the drive bed there.
The town obviously doesn't like how you guys did this all in one night. I was shocked when I was at the council meeting. And I realized that the state didn't give you much time, but you gave us no time.
Well, I think you've heard pros and cons to both sides of that issue here tonight. And you people elected the council that's sitting here in front of you to do what the city business in your best interest, and I think that's what they're all sitting here trying to do.
Matters got more surreal when a homeless man's body was found dead inside the former Hoops and Home Runs Hotel and forced the city to take action.
In light of the body that was found on Friday, the mayor has taken steps over the course of the weekend to have the first floor boarded up secure and also have the stairs, the metal stairs, were cut out to prevent access to the second floor, knowing that that is not an end to this and that people will be resourceful and still be able to get access for housing, that it needs to be demolished, and that's what we're going to have City Council interject on.
Alcohol regulations were still up in the air in Boone County.
One of the issues you could have with property line to property line is with like a country club. You're going to make them do it 1,000 feet from the edge of their property line when their alcohol resets in the middle of how many acres?
Golf course.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that the property line you're going to have to sort all that out somehow, because that would be unreasonable.
The most ironic aspect of the month of April came from the issue of flood insurance. Some county residents were ready to take a stand against the federal government's intrusion into our personal lives, but little did they know that the end of April would come back to haunt some of them.
This pertains to FEMA money being granted to some citizens in southern Arkansas, a lot of these were elderly, and FEMA has sent that money to them, I'm assuming, according to this article, with no strings attached, and now they want the money back.
Yeah.
Now this demonstrates that FEMA lies and they cannot be trusted.
With over a foot of rain falling in the area since Saturday, residents of both Harrison and Boone County are now dealing with the aftermath. The TKO news cameras began capturing the events Monday morning with the early cleanup process started at Lake Harrison. And while the early start was wise, the end of the storm surge would make the effort seem like a moot point when record-setting water levels pummeled the park again Monday evening.
Right now, the mountain is continually moving
probably a couple of inches every 30 minutes or so. Probably a section, probably about 200 yards. And it's moving constantly. I mean, you can sit here and just, for about an hour or so, you'll see a tree go or a piece of earth, fall off the side of the mountain. There ain't a whole bunch of water. It just looks like it's just the mountain itself. I'm sure there's water underneath it, but most of it is just the earth is sinking and then moving downhill.
But despite the heavy overtones that was April 2011, we closed out the month with a reminder that there's always hope.
I've been doing this for 22 years. This is my 26th state. I'm just trying to lift up the name of Jesus and remind people that he loves us and died for us and resurrected, and he's the only hope we got. So
Stick around. We're going to be right back as TKO News continues to look back at the year that was 2011.
The tradition continues at Homey Hearth Bakery. Specializing in the best quality made-from-scratch breads, cookies, cakes, and pies, it's easy to see why they were recognized in Southern Living magazine and voted #1 bakery in Harrison year after year. All sandwiches are made with one of their many varieties of homemade breads, fresh vegetables, deli cheeses, and quality meats for a mouth-watering combination. Come in for lunch, and as you leave, grab some fresh-baked bread, pies, cookies, cakes, or some of their famous cinnamon rolls. Homey Hearth Bakery, 905 North Main Street in Harrison.
There's always something new at North Ark. This semester there are new spaces and new faces on campus. An updated student center, bookstore, allied health edition, and radiology technology areas provide cutting-edge equipment to enhance your learning experience.
Registration is easy. Enroll at North Ark on January 4th through the 6th. Classes start January 9th. For quality, value, and convenience, think North Ark first. We're your college.
And that's going to do it for this first part of our three-part series that was the year 2011. And while this first part was very busy, boy, I tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Nothing yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. It's something that you're never gonna forget. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't been around. That's what she told me.
So be sure to join me again next week at this same time as we continue our look back at the year that was 2011. Have a great one, everybody, and in case I miss you, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Why do you watch TKO 8 Local News?
Local coverage that we have around town that we can't get anywhere else.
You kind of just really love the channel, every day.
I just like to watch it all the time.
Tune in every weeknight at 6:30 and 10:30 for the latest local news, weather, and sports.